We're already in the second week of December, and I really hope that your mamas are enjoying this holiday season. And if you're not, we really need to do something about it. First, take a deep breath. Deep breathing is one of the quickest ways to calm your nerves and your anxiety, which we all get a little bit of this time of year. And second, take some time today to really think about what you want to look back at and remember about this time and this season. And once you figure that out, spend the next few weeks making sure everything you're doing aligns with that. For me, I really want to remember my kids smiling and laughing and taking the time to actually enjoy it. What's the point of doing all this extra work and planning all the things if you don't get to enjoy it? And I cut back a little bit this year. We are still getting all of our traditions in, or at least we're on target to get them all in, but life does throw those curveballs, so who knows? But I'm also trying to slow down and not put all this pressure on myself and to stay off of social media because that comparison thing has been hitting me a little bit this season. Seeing all those pictures, all those parties, all those outfits, all those elves, it can cause a little stress. I also put a little bit too much on my plate recently. And as good as I am with time management, I'm always looking for ways to make things easier or to be able to do things a little faster. And that's kind of where this episode comes from. I took some time to think about the things I do and what I could be doing differently, or the things I could buy to help me do things a little better. And as I was thinking about it, I thought of all the things I already have in place to help me with all those things. So today I wanted to share those things with you. I also wanted to share that I'm planning something fun for the week between Christmas and New Year's. I want to help set you mamas up for an amazing 2024. I have really big goals for next year, but like I've said, a goal without a plan is really just a wish. So I want to help you all create a plan for your goals so that you can crush them in 2024. So make sure you check out my goal planning series that week. It's in 2 weeks. I'll be planning right along with you. And a little reminder, if you would like personal one-to-one help with your goal planning, my single coaching sessions are 25% off if you book through the end of this month. Check out my show notes for the link. And spoiler alert, I'll be offering a nice little discount on my coaching packages, but you'll have to check out my goal setting series or sign up for my newsletter to get more information on that. If you haven't signed up for my monthly newsletter yet, you can sign up to become an insider by checking out my show notes, or all this fun is also on my website at momwifecareerlife.com. Are you feeling overwhelmed trying to juggle all the many hats you wear as a working mom? Do you want more quality time with your family without distraction of work and time alone to take care of yourself and your needs? Welcome to Mom Wife Career Life. I'm Kerri, a wife, mom of 3, and a recovering perfectionist. In this podcast, I will teach you how to create balance in your life by implementing healthy habits, organizing your home and your schedule, being intentional with your time and in your relationships, and most importantly, how to start putting your needs first because no one can pour from an empty cup. Grab that second cup of coffee, or if you're anything like me, your third. It's time to dive into today's episode of Mom Wife Career Life. It's been a crazy busy few weeks for us, and I can't say that the next few weeks are going to be any less crazy. I've been at max capacity, and as always, looking for ways to do things easier and more efficiently. And as I was thinking about it, I thought of all the things I use daily or weekly that already really save me time, and I wanted to share that list with you. And if you didn't already ask Santa for something, you can maybe add 1 or 2 of these items on your list. The first group of items, I guess, are considered tech items. And the first on that list would be my number 1 recommendation because I really don't know where I would be without it. It is my Apple Watch. I think at this point, if you counted up all of the time that my Apple Watch has saved me, it has probably actually saved days of my life. For those that don't know, you can link your Apple Watch to your iPhone, and if you can't find your iPhone, there's an option on your watch to ping your phone. I had the watch for probably over a year before my friend, my bestie, Anne, was staying with us, and I heard this dinging sound, and she said she was pinging her phone to find it, and my mind was blown. I am the queen of leaving my phone down, especially for time management, so that way I'm not constantly on it, but then I forget where I put it. So this feature alone is worth the investment. My other favorite thing about the Apple Watch, and I've shared this before, is the activity rings. If you have fitness goals, this is a great feature. There are three rings, one that tracks your calories, one that tracks the amount of time you spend exercising, and one that tracks your standing, which it wants you to stand at least for a minute every hour. The rings show your progress throughout the day, and the goal is to get each ring closed by the end of the day. You can customize the amount of calories you want to burn and the time you want to spend exercising. And the rings show your progress throughout the day. There are also different challenges you can do and badges you can earn. And with the exercise, you can actually track the different exercises you do. So if you're a runner, you could track your running pace, cycling, swimming, and it sends you motivational reminders throughout the day to encourage you to really close those rings. So it's like your own little cheerleader on your wrist. You could also link it with your friends so that way you can share your progress and help keep each other motivated and accountable. I haven't done that yet, though I have friends that do. And I'm actually thinking about starting that in January because I think I need that extra little kick in the butt. You can also use your watch to ping you reminders throughout the day for whatever you need to do, to take your medicine, to pick up your kids. It also tracks your heart rate. So if you have heart issues, a great little tracker to let you know if anything is going on a little wonky with you. The other thing I really love about the watch is that your calls and your texts can go right to your watch and you can silence the notifications on it so that you're not constantly getting pings. But I like this feature because, like I said, I try not to have my phone on me all the time. And when I'm trying to focus, I put it out of arm's reach, but I also don't want to miss a call from the kids or Rush trying to get in touch with me. So if I'm working and I get a call or a notification, I can just flip my wrist. I see who's calling me and can ignore it if it's not important. If I had my phone on me, I'd have to pick up the phone, see who's calling or texting, and then I know I just end up on social media or going down the rabbit hole of my phone. So obviously, I'm a huge fan of my watch. There are so many other features and uses, but these are the ones that I mostly use it for that help me save time and help me save my sanity. And I know since I've started using the Find My Phone feature, my family is a lot happier because it would always be when we're trying to leave the house to go somewhere that I couldn't find my phone. And I would have everyone on a manhunt pulling apart the house trying to find it. So it'll save your family some headaches too. My next must-have item is the Echo Dot, also known as the Alexa, which, fun fact or not so fun fact, it's my niece's name. So anytime we talk about her or say her name, the Alexas go off, which is funny. As I'm recording this, the Alexa behind me is going off. So I wonder if you could hear it. We have one of these in pretty much every room in our house. Besides being able to listen to any music I want at any moment in time, which to me is worth it, we actually use it as a home intercom system to make announcements, anywhere from telling the kids for the 10th time to get up for school to making an announcement that dinner is ready. And it's really funny when you say dinner is ready, it makes this little announcement and then the sound of like one of those triangle bells. It's pretty cute. You can also drop in on specific rooms in your house. So I could drop into the girls' room to just ask them to do something, or drop into the kitchen to ask Russ to heat up my coffee for the 20th time. So you can drop into a specific room, or you can make an announcement that airs on all of them. And funny story, my mom, who lives with us, put one on our porch. We have a wraparound porch that she has a little section set up for my nephew's play area because she watches them at our house. And she uses the Alexa to listen to music while they're outside. Well, it wasn't until recently that Russ was outside playing football with Michael that I made an announcement to the girls. And he came in to tell me that he could hear it from outside on the porch. I had to just laugh because I don't know how long it's been outside and I don't know how many announcements I've made since, but hopefully my neighbors can't hear it from their house. But if they can, I'm sure they've heard some funny announcements. I also use the Alexa to set reminders, timers, and to tell me whatever is going on that day. You can link it to your calendar. So you could say, Alexa, what do I have planned today? And she will tell you. It's also good for your kids if they need a reminder that they could just ask Alexa, what do I have planned today? And if you have it linked to your calendar, it'll tell your kids what they have planned. The next item is our door lock. So we have a keyless entry to our house, and I've had it since we moved in. I can't even imagine life without it and having to remember my keys every time I left the house or finding them in my bag when I came home. I still have to carry keys for my car, but I just leave those in my bag. And as long as they're close to me, I can open my car door and start it without even having to take the keys out. So highly recommend a keyless entry. The next item is a universal voice control remote for the TV. Now, I really don't watch TV that often, but the voice feature is a really nice to have. I just tell the remote what I want to see or where I want it to go, and it just finds it for me. Probably only saves me a few minutes, but it also saves me the frustration of how to figure out where to go, how to get off of YouTube or Netflix or whatever my kids left the TV on when they shut it off. I don't know when TVs got so complicated, but the fact that I can now just turn it on and tell the remote what I want to watch is pretty great. I was hesitant to put this one on here because it's also the biggest time waster if you don't have discipline and good boundaries in place, but I'm sure you guessed it, my cell phone. Having everything I need to remember, my calendar, my notes, my emails, my pictures, apps to track things, apps to create things, apps to manage things, to track my kids, to help me reach my goals, to stay healthy, to wake me up, to help me sleep, to help me get places. I don't know where I would be without it. But again, if you're not setting healthy boundaries with your phone, as much time as it's saving you, it's probably making you waste that same amount of time. So set those boundaries. The last few items are all in my kitchen, and if you've listened to enough of my episodes, you know how much I hate to cook. So anything that can make my life easier in the kitchen, I am all for. My absolute favorite thing in my kitchen is my KitchenAid mixer. I saved up for this, so it was a really big deal when I got it, and I use it at least once a week, but usually more. And they are stylish, so it looks really great on the kitchen counter, which I hate my kitchen counters right now. They're a little too cluttered. So it's a big goal of mine in January to get those decluttered. But kitchen mixers, they come in so many colors, so you can find anyone to match your decor. Mine is like a creamy vintage white color. And I bake banana breads every weekend. Sometimes I make them pumpkin. It's the same recipe. I just switch out the pumpkin for banana. And my family either eats it for breakfast or I send it into school for lunch with the kids, or they have it for snack after school. It's super easy. It makes 3 loaves. And with my kitchen mixer, I could literally whip up 3 loaves of bread in less than 10 minutes. So I love it. I also recently discovered that you can use it to shred chicken, which I've shared on my Instagram. So I usually plan a chicken meal for at least 2 days in a row. The first day, I'll make whole chicken thighs or breasts or legs, and then I'll make some extra the next night. And I just take those leftovers, I throw them in the mixer, and it shreds them. And then I could use that shredded chicken to make quesadillas, which my kids all love and eat. You can also buy attachments for the KitchenAid to make so many other things: pasta, spiralized veggies. You can grind meat to make sausages. You can make ice cream. I'm not that adventurous, so I stick to the simple things, but there are a lot of options out there. My next favorite kitchen appliance is my Instant Pot. Every working mom should have an Instant Pot, which is a pressure cooker for those that don't know what it is. You just throw in your ingredients and it does the cooking for you. And you can throw frozen meat in it and it comes out great. Crock pots are great too, but I find that the meals that I cook in a crock pot aren't the healthiest, so I've retired my crock pot and I just stick with the Instant Pot. We recently upgraded ours to get the one that has the air fryer lid. And to be honest, I really only tried that once and it was with sweet potatoes, so I really can't judge there, but I like my sweet potatoes better in the oven, so I'm not in any rush to use the air fryer option. I would love to use it more, so if you have suggestions on recipes, please DM me on Instagram. Or if you're not part of my Facebook community, come on over and hang out with us and share your Instant Pot air fryer tips. Which, side note, I was on an Instant Pot forum on Facebook and I was asking for a recipe and I referred to it as a Instapot instead of an Instant Pot, which I think it just sounds better as Instapot. It just rolls off the tongue easier. But someone actually responded to my post correcting me and was a little over passionate and shared how she gets so annoyed when people call it Insta. And I just laughed. It always baffles me when people go out of their way to post negative things. Anyway, get yourself an Instant Pot if you don't have one. My next favorite is our Vitamixer, which is basically a souped up blender. And I'm sure there are much less expensive options out there that do the same things, but I love ours because it's really easy for our kids to use. My kids love smoothies and acai bowls, if I even said that right. And it's something that they can totally make themselves. I always have frozen fruit in the freezer, Greek yogurt on hand, and they just throw in the ingredients and mix it up and done. It's a great way to get some healthy nutrients into their day. There are also a lot of things you can do with the blender. It actually comes with a cookbook. It's great for making soups. If you have a baby, it's great for making baby food. You could also use it to chop, to grind, to puree. It basically doubles as a food processor, so I love it. The next one is our electric kettle. This is one of the things I didn't know I needed until I actually had it. I always had a kettle that stayed on my stove, but then my sister bought me one for Christmas or my birthday a couple of years ago, and it's been a kitchen staple ever since. It boils water super fast, so when I'm in a rush to make dinner and need water boiled, I use the kettle. My kids also use it to make their teas or hot chocolate, which makes my life easier. Plus, we've had to replace a few kettles over the years because we put the flame on too high and it ended up melting the spout cover. Not something you have to worry about with an electric kettle. A little fun fact I actually learned last week. I've shared before that my mom is from Ireland and that I've been trying to get more mindful of learning about her childhood and how she grew up. And I had a few of her siblings staying with us over Thanksgiving, and we started talking about electricity and how she remembers when it first got installed in her house and the first 3 electrical things that her mom got. And do you know what they were? It's fun to try to guess. I actually played this game with Russ and the kids at breakfast yesterday to try to get them to guess, and they couldn't get the last one. The things were a radio, an iron, and an electric kettle. I was actually a little shocked about the electric kettle, one, because I didn't think they've been around that long, and two, because I guess I've lived without one for so long that I wouldn't think it was a top priority. But then I thought about the fact that they didn't have indoor plumbing or hot water at the time, so I could see how it was on the top priority of their list to get. I guess the next item I would have to say is my coffee pot. I almost forgot about this one, but I love coffee and I drink it all the time, so why not add it? And I did just get the dual Keurig that has the pot option and the carafe option, which I will say the pods are so nice to have when you want a quick cup of coffee and don't feel like making a full pot. And I could drink coffee all hours of the day, so I guess this one really does save me time. Plus, you can program a coffee pot to have it ready as soon as you wake up, so that does save you time too. And the last on my list is the only one that you don't need to plug in or charge or get batteries for. It's so simple, but yet so helpful. My home management center. And our home management center is a simple corkboard that is big enough to fit a monthly calendar, my menu board, a weekly plan, and a little extra space to pin up some important papers, some invites, receipt, or a special coupon. You just can't let this one get overcrowded or it kind of defeats the purpose. The calendar has all the important kids' schedules with sports and school, any birthdays or holidays or big events we have. All of the same info is on our phone, but having it in a central location for everyone to see really keeps everyone in the house aware and in the know, including my mom and Michael, who aren't linked to our electronic calendars. It literally does what it's called. It helps me manage my home and is in the center of our house. So that's my list. I've added some links to my show notes so you can check out some of the items. And again, if you haven't figured out what you want for Christmas yet, ask for some that will make your life easier. If you have a gadget that helps you save time and makes your life easier that isn't on my list, I would love to hear about it. Either DM me on Instagram or come hang out with mamas just like you in our free Facebook community and tell us all about it. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Wife Career Life with Kerri Pat. Before you go, if you found this podcast helpful, I would be so grateful if you would take a minute, go on over to iTunes and leave me a review. If you have other stressed out mamas in your life that you feel this podcast could help, take a screenshot of this episode, post it in your Instagram stories and tag me, and let them know they are not alone and they can create balance in their life too. If there's a topic you would like me to cover or you just want to connect, DM me on Instagram at mom.wife.career.life or join our new Facebook community. Sending you love and light until next time on the Mom Wife Career Life podcast with Kerri Pat.